Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming to you from the Recycle Garage in very sunny and warm Santa Cruz, California. And today was a good day because we gave away a lot of shit and helped people fix their bikes.
Yes.
It was a giveaway bonanza.
It was.
Nice.
It was. We got rid of some gear.
Yes.
Oh, good.
And we helped fix some bikes. And I'm proud to say I helped somebody fix a Triumph.
What did you do?
Because Emma was busy on a Vespa.
Did you kick it? Did it start?
No, I'll let her tell her Vespa story because that was pretty clever.
Yes.
You want to tell your fixing the Vespa story?
No, I want to hear how you fix this Triumph.
Well,
How about
It
we
was
figure
a-
out who's in the fucking house tonight, Liza?
we're going to get there.
All right. I'm just
It
saying.
was
I'm
a
just
Triumph Tiger 900. Just very much like Stumpy John's bike with the Tiger 800.
Feels like mine.
Stepping all over my intros. And of course,
Nice segue.
I was so proud to help him fix it because I did it, not Emma, the Triumph mechanic.
What did you actually do?
Yeah, we'll get to that. And if Knock had only been here, he would have had my back too.
Yeah, I'm always the one, making side comments.
Was the kill switch off? Was that
Yeah.
it?
And Bagel would not have been paying any attention to the Triumph because there was a broken Vespa here.
I like how organic and smooth that went.
Yeah, I know.
Very orgasmic.
No, so he came in with his Tiger 900, very good looking bike, and he was suspicious that maybe his, sorry, my headphones just went out. Let me get this. Ugh. Okay, he was suspicious that his front rotor was warped because his wheel when it was turning was making a scraping sound.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right? It's a good thing to be concerned about. And so his buddy was there and they were spinning the wheel and trying to look at it and see if it was warped. And I just thought to myself, what is the more likely situation here? That you've somehow warped a rotor or that your adventure bike that you recently did 100 miles in the dirt on might have gotten some debris in the caliper and that needs to be cleaned.
Yeah.
And what's easier to do to rule out?
Right.
You still have nothing to say, Emma.
No.
But what was interesting to me is that I said, so I would pop the calipers off, and if you're not afraid of it, let's take the brake lines off too and take it on the bench and pull them apart and clean them. But he was shy about working on his bike, and he didn't even want to take the calipers off.
That's easy.
So he's like, I'll just get some brake clean and spray inside them. I'm like,
No, don't do that.
I don't think you can really get to everything. He was trying. And I talked him into taking the 2 bolts off that hold the calipers on.
Wait, are they the axial or are they the radial brakes? Like the radial, they go from the top.
Yeah,
side
from
or-
the top down.
Yeah, okay, they're radial brakes.
And I'm like, just at least take that off so you can visually inspect and see if everything's moving and clean. And he just took them apart, sprayed everything down, put it back on, and it stopped doing it.
Yeah.
But the other information, when I did drag Emma over at one point, his story changed slightly.
Yes.
And this is the thing. She said, do you feel it in your brake when you're braking?
You mean in the lever?
In the lever. And at first he said yes. Which now she's like, yeah, this is a warped rotor. You changed story. And then he's like, well, I think maybe kind of, I'm not sure.
He was a bit wishy-washy.
So now it's like, we're, you feeling it or not? But he went and test rode it, and it doesn't seem to be doing that, and it's not making that sound anymore. So I think it was just needed a clean. What do you think, Emma?
Yeah, I think so.
I've always found that like your brake pads are sort of supposed to kiss the rudder a little bit. It's not,
it was making a sound, but not a pulsating one.
Yeah,
and just to comparison, I took him over to my Africa Twin, and we popped the front wheel up and did that. And
Yeah.
it makes the same exact
like a
sound.
little hissing noise, right? Like
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, I mean, that was just a simple thing to do. But I was also kind of surprised at how reluctant he was to get into it at all. But to me, brake calipers are one of the simplest things to do. It's all mechanical. With the exception of Emma will tell me, I'm sure.
No.
No?
It is true, but we we're brought up on the assumption that dicking around with your brakes is inherently dangerous because you really know what you're doing before you touch brakes. And it is true that most brake jobs on a bike, unless you're doing a manual override on an ABS pump or something, is very straightforward. But you really need to have your wits about you because one bolt that's not torqued up right, one misaligned thing, one clip that's left off, you could lose your brakes completely and basically kill yourself.
Now I do have a question for you, Emma.
Yes.
And I'm gonna make this. Tell me why.
Yes.
I've had
Ain't nothing but a
Jesus Christ.
I've had some older bikes, so I don't know if age is
Right.
indicative here. That when for whatever reason the brakes were sticking,
Yes.
that it heated up the fluid and it seized the brakes.
Yes, it will.
And then I've had other bikes like my KTM, more modern, that it heated up the brakes and they faded away.
Oh, there's a reason for that.
So why is it that they react completely differently?
It's all down to volumetric efficiency or lack thereof.
Oh, you just sounded really smart.
It's very, very simple. The older bikes have far more fluid to heat up.
Oh, okay.
And the componentries themselves are bigger. So the brakes heat up and the same things are affecting them. The rotor is heating up, the pads are heating up, everything is swelling and gripping on itself. But the difference, the amount of fluid you have behind those pads in an old bike is quite a lot, whereas in your KTM is very, very little. So it doesn't take much to boil it off. Usually happens on modern bikes in the rear brake, where you have so little fluid to begin with. You have a tiny master cylinder, a tiny reservoir, and a tiny caliper. Ducatis are absolutely notorious for it.
Yep, and there's less airflow back there too.
Yeah, so it's bigger components. Bigger components, more fluid, same amount of heat.
Right. Well, yeah, that was pretty interesting. And then you helped somebody. You want to say how you helped the women on the Vespa. And this is one of the best ones. When somebody comes in with a non-running vehicle that they ride out. That's always a good one.
Well, they know I like it. Push them in, ride them out. Right, Bagel?
Yes, indeed.
People pay good money for that on Craigslist
Right.
personal services.
So this young lady, she was here last week, and we performed a fairly simple service on her Vespa, and it left. It was running very, very well. And the very next day, she was turning into a parking lot, and she lost her balance and just fell over on it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. It's no, but
It's such a pretty little bike, too.
not now.
Oh, no.
Is it bad?
No.
Okay.
But it's nice and crunchy on the one side.
Oh, maybe.
However, it wouldn't start afterwards.
Oh, interesting.
And it
Did it fall on the right side?
no, it fell on the left side.
Tilt switch?
No. None of those things. So when the bike fell over, her knee caught the ignition key.
Oh.
And it-
shitty.
Oh.
And it popped the fob off it. And so she put the fob in her pocket and off she went. And that bike's got a smart key. It's certainly got a halo around the ignition switch.
By the fob, you mean like the head of the key, the blue part?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a problem.
And so she didn't have the blue part with her key. So knowing this, we got out the old super glue and reunited her blue fob with her metally key part.
And it felt so good.
And the bike started straight away because now...
I hate chip keys, man. It's such a pain in the ass.
Well, you'd be surprised how many bikes have chip keys.
I know,
I
it
think your
sucks.
Kawasaki's got one.
No, it doesn't. I've used it. I've been lucky enough to not have a chip key.
Boy, you've got... Because a lot of stuff made after
I know.
early 2000s got chip keys. We've been joined by somebody new.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I was about to do the intro. Emma, you cut me off.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I am. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Chris.
So this
Hello.
is I'm proud to introduce Chris Hopper, who's joining us, because last week, well, I think it was last week, the week before, I said, "Hey guys, did you hear about this dude that just did this like crazy ride,
Right.
100,000 miles in 100 days?" And Emma, your response was,
Well, and I mean, and I know you've got a lot of flack for this, Chris, and I promise you I haven't got a mean bone in my body. But I sat down and did the math, and I'm not saying it couldn't be done, but I'm like, dear God, that is an achievement.
no, that is not what you said.
I said it's very...
You said it's not possible. You said it's not possible. And here's
That's
why
okay. You can say it.
I'm not throwing you under the bus, Emma, because I was following all of the reactions when the news came out that this guy had done this ride. And to me, it was amazing how many people had the same reaction.
Well,
It's not possible.
I certainly couldn't ride even the most comfortable bike, and I'm just talking from my personal thing because I can't speak for other people. But to average 70 miles an hour for 13 hours a day, I couldn't physically do that for any more than a couple of days. And to do it for 3 months, it's amazing.
That's some real biker shit.
That is serious biker
Yeah.
shit right there.
And I will admit that I too said I don't know how that's possible. You have to be like superhuman. I want to know more. I'm curious about this. I want to talk to this guy. I want to hear how, because especially as I've been digging in a little bit deeper. So, Chris, first of all, you didn't just up out of the blue decide you're just going to ride a long distance. You've been doing long distance for a long time, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely have the resume to attempt this. I mean, yeah, it's not something you just wake up out of the blue after riding,
Yeah.
5,000 miles in a year and say, hey, I'm just going to step it up.
So yeah, you're part of the long distance riding groups that I'm in Facebook. So your name has been out there. You've been doing the Iron Butt rallies, stuff like that. So anyone who does long distance riding knows who you are, and you're not just
Correct.
somebody who just appeared and made a claim.
Right.
But you guys, the story just gets like better and better. I know we all have questions how you did it, but I'm just going to say, like, Emma, if you were to attempt to do, let's just say,
Right.
one Iron Butt, 1,000 miles, what time of day might you set out on this trip?
Well, I mean, an iron butt is 24 hours.
Yeah.
right?
So what would be?
Doesn't matter.
Let me ask you this: what would be the worst time to start out?
I think the best time to start out would be at probably 11 p.m. That'd be the best time because you're getting the worst part of the trip over when you're at your strongest.
Hey, Chris, what time did you start your trip?
Absolutely. 5:30. 5:25 to be exact. but
PM.
Yes.
PM.
yes.
So, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Not to me.
Yes.
You're making the hardest. The first night is the hardest. Whenever
Yeah,
I've
but
done
that's
mine, I started like 3 a.m.
But
so at
that's
least
when
you had
he's at
some
his-
sleep.
No, but that's when he's at its strongest. Because I'm sure that you slept quite well before you planned this.
Well, I think, not to cut you off, Chris, I think the point here is for anyone listening to this, forget what you think you know about long distance riding. Forget how you think you might do it. Forget what is the right way to do it, because Chris did it. And that's
Right.
why I want to know from him, the master, how you did it, all the tricks, all the things, because you can't apply logic to this.
And I want to add, before we go any further, the shit talking and naysaying has stopped because Harley Davidson have actually verified your record, haven't they? So
Yes.
So there's no question that Chris didn't do it. That's off the table now. So share your secrets, champ.
Well, there's really not any secrets. Like I said earlier, I am an experienced long distance rider. I've got close to 100 actual certified rides, platinum level with mile eater. If you're familiar with that, the different levels of the iron butt. As you get more, you move up in the levels. I've got enough now to where once all the rides that I have are certified, I'll actually be diamond. There's only a handful of people that are diamond. I don't know what the number is. It's less than 20, I think, less than 20 people that are diamond level.
I think I'm still at the coal level.
Wow.
Bagel, what level are you at?
I'm at anthracite, I think.
At the site? Yeah, I think. Knock, what are you at? Grass?
Oh, not even that, dude. Like talcum powder, is that a thing?
Right.
Not anymore.
So, Chris, you've been doing long distance riding. How long did it take to plan this? Because Bagel is somebody who likes to do long distance on his scooter, and he plans the bejeezies out of it. So, how much planning did you do?
Yeah, see, I'm just the opposite. I don't plan it. If anyone that knows me knows I don't plan at all. I'm one of those guys. I'll wing it from the get go. I don't plan anything whatsoever. So on this particular ride, I had the first 2 days kind of planned out just on some places I wanted to go and get out of the way really quick. And after that, I didn't have a single plan whatsoever.
Damn.
Well,
I never planned to stop a hotel or anything. I wing it from the get go.
Bagel, doesn't that just scare you?
That blows my mind.
Bagel has all of his restaurant meals planned out and pre-ordered. Like, he goes right into it. So, Chris, let's start with some of the basics. What bike did you choose to ride for this?
I had a 21 Road Glide Limited. I had a 20 Road Glide Limited prior to that. So, I mean, I was comfortable with the bike. I knew that's what I wanted to do it on. I bought a new one specifically for this ride.
Awesome.
And
Wow.
looking at you, you look like a pretty hardcore Harley guy. So I'm guessing that whatever a hardcore Harley guy looks like, but I'm guessing all your records up to this point have been set on Harleys.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I am a Harley guy through and through. I mean, there's plenty other great bikes out there, but I do like Harley.
Right. And you know, the thing I always try and instill on people, stick with the stuff you know. If you know it and you like it, it's a great bike.
Yeah.
All right. So, how long had you decided to do this? Because, I mean, you did at least, I assume, had to take off work and be prepared.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So I initially had this ride planned out for last year.
Okay.
I meant to take off last year. The Hokahay, I don't know if you're familiar with that. Okay, so the Hokahay got pushed. It's usually in, June, July, got pushed back to August. So when that happened, I knew there was no way I could take off in August. That was going to put me way deep into the end of the year and cold weather and all that. So I had said, okay, instead of last year, I said as soon as the IBR, the Iron Butt Rally, I was elected to ride in that this year. So I said, as soon as that is over, I'm hitting the streets. I'm taking off.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as the Iron Butt Rally was done, I rested up for a week or so and then took off.
And the other thing I find fascinating about your story, so the previous record was, I believe, 45,000 miles in 45 days.
Yes, Matt Wise.
So you didn't think, I'm going to go for 46. No. Leap right over that to 100,000, which, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say, did you really believe it was possible when you started off?
Actually, absolutely. There was no question in my mind that I was going to finish it. It's just, it's a mental game. It's a mental ride. Like I said, I've got the resume for someone to attempt it.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's just a mental game, and I know where I'm at mentally and how to prepare and how to, I don't want to say trick myself, but, set my little goals that I need to get to the next level. Right. So there was really no question as far as my ability of being able to finish, aside from mechanical or crash or anything like that. Mm-hmm. The mental aspect, I was 100% confident I could do it.
There's so much I want to talk to you about. So take us through. Let's start with the fact that you're doing 1,000-mile days. So what does a 1,000-mile day look like? Take us from the time and the moment you swing your leg on your bike through what a 1,000-mile day looks like.
Well, as far as that, 1,000 miles to me is, like I said, I've done enough of them. So those, it's not even really a thought. It's a normal ride. Mm-hmm. It's to me, it's to just get on, go for a ride, and I know that anywhere between 15 to 20 hours later, I'll be done.
Right. So what do you do about eating? What do you do about fueling the bike? Because, I mean, you're in company now. Nobody really in this room, aside from Bagel, is a marathon rider. Well,
I've got 2 iron butts.
So you're an iron butt, but
you're iron butt.
Let's talk about eating. Let's talk about going to the toilet. Let's talk about fueling your bike. all this is eating into your bottom line of time. So how does that look like?
Okay, so if you just get on it and ride, just ride, no stops. If you keep, if you just figure just a normal 3 to 5 minute gas stop, okay, just forget about all the other stuff, eating and all that, okay?
Yeah.
Just riding, you'll do the ride. Now, especially if you're on highways, but even on secondary roads, you could easily do that ride in 14 to 15 hours.
Okay.
So that gives you 9 hours to play with in the span of the 24-hour period.
Hang on a minute. You got to sleep, Chris.
Right.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So in this particular scenario, you've got 9 hours. So it's how much are you going to eat into that is basically what you're taking away from your sleeping.
Okay.
Now, I've always been one of those guys who can sleep, 4 or 5 hours a night. I mean, that's like normal for me. I don't sleep 8 or 9 hours. So it wasn't really a stretch, out of the ordinary for me to start with. Obviously, I was a little bit more tired than just every day. But I'm always one of those guys who just doesn't need a whole ton of sleep.
Okay.
That's like a superpower in itself, being able to get 4 to 5 hours of sleep and still be functional as a human.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think perhaps if we're looking for a magic bullet or a key, aside from the fact that you're obviously a very, very skilled rider and a very skilled individual, that's like the magic key to this, is that you can get by with so little sleep. If somebody was a solid 8-hour sleeper, the sums simply aren't going to add up for this. Unless you're doing it on a ZX14 and averaging 100.
You could still do it. You just have to make adjustments as far as, on your ride. You're not going to be able to stop a whole lot. You're going to have to be a whole lot more efficient on your fuel stops. You're not going to be able to go in and sit down and have a, hour meal or hour and a half meal. You're going to have to bring food with you, eat on the bike, kind of make some adjustments to give you that extra sleep time that you need.
So I got a quick question for you. So I'm assuming that you had to train like Rocky to do this.
No training.
How many sides of beef did you punch?
What was your training regimen?
Yeah, there was nothing out of the ordinary. It was literally just, okay, it's time to go. Let's wake up and, jump on the bike and go.
So,
pack up and go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, at what point in the ride did you go, all right, I'm doing it. Holy shit, it's happening right now. Point of no return. Let's go. Like, is that like halfway through the ride when it was finished, or the moment you got up, you're like, I got this. Let's roll.
Yeah, no, right from the beginning, like, okay, we're doing this. So I actually, I told there was only a couple of people who knew it was going on beforehand, because I didn't want to make a big announcement until I got, 8 to 10,000 miles into it.
Yeah.
I really wanted more. My buddies talking. I wanted to go like 15,000.
Yeah.
Because I've done 10,000 several times in Hokahay, IBR, and whatnot. So I said, let me just get past that. Let me get to 15,000 before we make an announcement.
Sure.
They didn't want me to get that far. They wanted me to do it a lot sooner. So we kind of compromised around that 8,000 mark. So,
yeah.
Which is probably good, because if we would have got to 13 or 14, I could have easily said, you know what, let me back off and, not tell anyone.
Yeah. Was this
mostly not finish it? But at that point, once we announced it, I was committed,
Gotcha. So was it mostly an uneventful ride? No mechanicals, not running into critters or nothing like that? It was pretty smooth sailing for the most part, or?
For the most part, I picked up 2 nails. So I had 2 flat tires in my rear. But other than that, luckily, grace to God, both of those were a dead center, easy to find, plugged easy. You couldn't ask for anything better.
So, let me talk about maintaining that bike, because I know for a fact that even the finest Harley on the road is not going to perform 100,000 miles without maintenance. And I also know that most motorcycle shops, I own a motorcycle shop, so I know that bike shops are slammed right now. What did you do about getting oil changes? What did you do about changing tires? Did you just show up at a Harley Davidson shop and say, hey, I need this done now?
No, we had all this prearranged. So I had ordered 10 sets of tires prior to that, like months before, because I knew they were in the supply chain was limited and all that. So way before I'd told my dealer, hey, order 10 sets. I run American Elites. So they ordered those. They actually got 5 in right away. And then throughout the weeks, the remainder of them came in. I wound up only using 7 sets, but I had that. As far as maintenance, so as soon as I bought the new bike, I drove it up to Dallas to where the guy is that does the shocks. So I had all brand new shocks put on, Olin shocks, suspended by Smarty is his name. He does it out of his shop. So I put all new shocks on and then came back home. And that was basically my 1,000-mile break-in.
Make sure you get all the plugs in because they're all deserved.
Yeah.
Okay.
And something else I wanted to say that was amazing about this. You would think if you're just out there trying to do miles, that it's about just hitting the big open road and just putting miles on. You went sightseeing. This is even more amazing.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing that I'd said is if I'm going to do something, take the time and the effort to do something like this, I want to make it fun for me. It's not just, I'm not just going to sit on an interstate and go up and down the interstate just to claim the miles. Right. Anybody could do that. So I was going to make this fun. I was going to make it about me. And I said from the beginning and all the way through the ride up to the end, a lot of my friends were getting on me about stopping so much and spending too much time. And I was behind pretty much the whole ride. I mean, I was always behind the gun. But I said, I would rather miss it and come up 4,000 or 5,000 miles short and still see everything that I saw. And to me, that would be a success.
So let's cover this because I'm looking at this map of your route, which, by the way, when people say, how do you confirm that he did this? You had not 1, but 2 trackers on your bike and you had people following you throughout, right?
2 trackers, people were following. And every single gas stop, I took a receipt or I took a picture of the receipt beside my odometer. I missed 3 out of the whole ride, out of the whole, 3.5 months, 100,000 miles. There was 3 receipts that I didn't get, which was, gas stations in the middle of the night that were closed.
Right.
So, as a long distance rider, you've probably been to a lot of places, but it looks like, let's see, how was Niagara Falls? Did you go there?
That was good. The first time I've ever been there. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see, Bonneville Salt Flats?
Very cool. Yeah, not what I expected, but yeah, it was cool.
Oh, it looks like you went almost down into Baja, almost like San Diego, Baja.
Yes. Yeah. Hit that corner down there.
Let's see. Oh, up New York. Oh, did you go down to Miami?
Or no.
Nearby? Looks like you went down into Florida, maybe Boca or something like that.
Went down. I was actually headed down. I was going to do my best to avoid Key West just because I hate that ride. And I hate riding in Florida, period. That's like one of my worst states. But I was actually heading south, and I don't remember where. I think I was going to go to Key Largo, which is as far as I wanted to go and eat lunch or whatever and turn around. And then actually one of my friends there called me and said, hey, let's meet here instead. So I literally just turned around and went back to meet up with them.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How many miles do you get on a fill-up?
Oh, yeah.
So I run an auxiliary tank. I don't know if you saw pictures of my bike. The back seat is a 5-gallon aux tank.
Damn.
With the 6-gallon stock tank. So I'm running 11 gallons, which would get me roughly 400 miles.
Okay.
I can go 450 if I really kind of, if I don't get on it and I'm not running, 85, 90 miles an hour or whatever.
Gotcha.
But it was typically that 350 to 400 number where I was always stopping. That was kind of the sweet spot that I looked for.
Gotcha.
That's something I remember about a lot of my long distance riding or cross country trips. When you're just in that groove and your bike can do 350, which seems like a long distance, but I just remember I got to stop again. It becomes annoying.
Yeah.
And it's
It does.
you just get so set in the bike and you could just keep going.
I feel this is a good time for you to develop some kind of mid-air refueling system kind of a thing. Have a truck pull up beside you and, have a spigot or some little pivot,
So, Chris, how much time did you allot for each meal? So you just talked about lunch. How long would you dwell over lunch? I mean, was it shovel it into your face, get out of there in 20 minutes or?
It kind of depended on where I was at in the ride, how far behind I was, but I knew going out, obviously. So if we're just doing just a normal iron butt or anything like that, Sometimes I'll just say, hey, you know what? I know I can do this ride in 14, 15 hours. I've got 8, 9 hours to kill. You know, if it's just a quick saddle sore, 1,000 miles, then yeah, I'll stop and eat, kill an hour, hour and a half, maybe even, you know, stop at a bar, grab a beer, just, you know, because I know I've got plenty of time. I can do it, no problem. So on this ride, knowing that obviously it's going to be, you know, 100 days instead of just one, I just kind of mixed it up. So there were some days to where I stopped for an hour at lunch. I'd stop for an hour for dinner. There were some days where I was just kind of running behind me. You know, I just got to grab a sandwich and eat it on the bike. And I just don't have those hours to kill.
Fill up the bike, grab a sandwich, gas station sandwiches.
It just kind of, depending on where I'm at or what I had planned for that day or the following day, if I knew I had a bunch of stops, then I knew I wasn't going to have a lot of time to eat.
So I have a question for you. I want to know, what was harder for you, day 99 on the bike or dealing with all the idiots on social media afterwards?
Oh yeah, definitely the idiots on social media. Yeah. Well, it was crazy. That was more entertainment for me, especially during the ride.
Because you were hopping in there and politely correcting people or offering information. Like, you handled it well.
He knew he did
from
it.
like a PR standpoint, you handled it well. But I couldn't believe how accusatory people were.
Yeah. There's a lot of that, and just kind of knowing from, you know, the people that were important to me, obviously my friends, family, and the people in the long distance community, everyone in the long distance community, like you had said earlier, I'm not new. I've been around a long time. So a lot of people know who I am, and knew it wasn't a stretch for me to try something like that. So the people that were important and who actually knew about long distance riding, those are, you know, they knew it was real. So a lot of people who were saying that it wasn't or whatever, people that just really don't ride, you know, they consider riding 50 miles a day going to the bar, and then they go home. You know, they do 3,000 miles a year. They just don't, they can't grasp what long distance riding is.
Yeah.
Well, I first of all, I just want to give you mad props for how you handled all that. You did great. And as a member of the motorcycle community, I want to say on behalf of all the assholes, I'm so sorry.
No, you expect that, and I expected that from the beginning.
So Chris, couple questions. So, two things. So, this is an expensive endeavor. I mean, new bike. You know, all the road expenses, gas expenses. How did you handle that? Did you have sponsors, or were you just coming out of pocket? And second,
no sponsors. Yeah, I paid for everything.
You paid for everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
My dealer helped me out a little bit with some tires. And maintenance. So when I bought the bike, I have a maintenance plan, 4-year maintenance plan. So I wasn't having to pay for each maintenance either.
Gotcha.
Oh, incredible. And then lost
wages.
wages.
It was an expensive endeavor, but it was, like I said, it was for charity. So I wanted, 100% of this to go to the charity. So,
and that brings up, I was going to ask you to talk about that, because you were riding for a purpose and you're raising $100,000, I think.
Yes.
That's your goal. What are you at right now?
We're at like 96, 95, 96.
Oh, so you're going to make it.
So we'll absolutely make it.
I want to make sure you get a plug to say what you're raising the money for, because this is something I'm not that familiar with, and how somebody might help out with this.
Yeah, so I was riding for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's kind of a specialized thing that basically affects young boys. Takes away their ability to walk and kind of function. They don't have a long life expectancy. And like I said, it pretty much just targets the young males. So that's what I was riding for. We actually have a couple of guys specifically. It wasn't just, hey, we're just going to collect this money and just give it to some big company for research or whatever. We were hand delivering a lot of the money to specific individuals who need something.
Right.
And you want to give that plug? I believe it's on change.org.
The charity is the charity is Mile Monsters Inc.
Mile Monsters Inc. Because, we've got 1 or 2 audience members, and I think they might want to contribute to this. So
absolutely. MileMonstersInc.com or the Mile Monsters Inc. Facebook page. There's a couple different ways you can go on and check it out and donate. Absolutely. 100% of the money goes directly to the charity. The charity's run by another long distance rider. Riot. His name is Riot. That's what we call him. He's the one who started this charity. We rode together in the 2018 Hoka Hay. And that's where I first learned about, this disease, was that. So kind of over the couple of years, we become friends, become close. And when I came up with this, I called him and said, hey, I think I can come up with $100,000 to your charity. Are you interested? He came down to Houston. We went and had breakfast, and I said, this is what I want to do. His jaw hit the floor, but he said, let's go.
So
Great.
2 more questions. So the junior high in me wants to know how you dealt with bodily fluids and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So, and do you have a preferred diaper or something that you're using there?
Yeah.
And second, I would love to know, like, was there a point in the ride where you hit the wall? It's like, I'm really kind of, hitting it right now, and how you pushed through that.
Yeah. Okay. So as far as restroom, when I'd stop for gas, if I needed to, I would go in, just like anyone else.
Sure.
As you become an experienced long distance rider, you don't spend 15, 20 minutes at each stop. It's fill up your tank, go in, go to the bathroom, grab a snack if you want, and then get back on the bike and go.
So no Facebook in that situation. Huh?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, try to keep it, between that 3 and 5 minute mark.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy. Obviously, throughout the day, there's going to be some that I'm like, hey, let me just take a quick break, walk around, whatever. But that's not every single one. It's once or twice a day, and that's it. And you just have to understand that however much time you're messing around throughout the day is what you're taking away from your sleep time. So it's just how you manage that.
Sure.
Over that course of time.
And did you hit the wall?
Answer
go ahead.
No, to answer your other question, as far as actually, what
hitting the
did
wall?
you ask?
Was there some point where it's like?
No, I did hit the wall. There was, I think my lowest day was like 600 miles. And I remember that day, I was just like every 100 miles I stopped, just get gas, just, get off the bike. And I was just dragging. I did not want to ride. It wasn't fun. I wasn't enjoying it. Like I said, I couldn't make it more than 100 miles without stopping for whatever reason. And I finally just called. It's like, you know what? I'm there. I know I'm at that wall. So I got to stop. I got to get off this bike. I got to get a really good night's sleep, just rest up and just start over and just know that. And it happened early. I don't remember what day it was, but I want to say it was around day 50, 55, something like that.
Right
so,
in the middle, yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I've still got, 40 days to make up 400 miles that, that's not that big a deal. Just ride an extra 100 miles for 4 days, or extra 50 miles for 8 days, whatever it is. I said, I can make that up. So I wasn't too concerned about it. But yeah, I absolutely just had to stop and just get off the bike for a while.
There you go.
So let's get into some other stuff. As a long distance rider, I'm curious what your seat setup or any other comfort you've added to the bike that people might be able to benefit from your knowledge.
Yeah. Most people aren't going to like it, but everything was 100% stock. Like I said, I added, the Olin shocks front and rear, but other than that, I rode a stock seat with a wild ass seat cushion.
Right.
There it is. Wild ass seat cushion.
Yeah.
Wild ass seat cushion.
Yeah, but no,
Is
Harleys
that an air
tend,
cushion?
Air cushion, yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
Harleys
nice.
tend to have larger, more comfortable seats. I mean, I agree with you that when they roll off the line, generally Harleys have terrible suspension, like every other bike.
Right.
And it's the easiest thing to get huge benefit from. Virtually every production bike that you can buy in America can benefit from upgrading the shocks.
Absolutely.
Did you get sick at all? Because you're eating gas station food, you're working on very little sleep, you're pushing your body, and we're all adults in here. You ain't 21 anymore. So,
Right.
how was your health during the trip?
I had no issues at all, and it wasn't all gas station food. I mean, like I said, there was in the beginning. I stopped pretty much every day for lunch and dinner.
Great.
Just take an hour, for lunch, maybe 45 minutes, whatever it is. Just go in someplace, eat a decent meal, and then obviously, if I got behind too far, then I knew I would have to cut that out and maybe just stop once for a decent meal, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But I always tried to eat something halfway decent, at least most of the time. I did eat a lot of junk, and there was some gas station sandwiches or whatnot. But for the most part, I did try to take care of my body and and do it right.
Well, and for anyone who's done long distance riding, I think they know there's two things that's hard. One, your body, your ass,
Right.
your shoulders, just all your body gets tired. But for me, the harder part is the mental, just keeping your head busy, because it's so hard when to just. I mean, where does your head go? What are you thinking? What are you doing? How do you entertain yourself?
Yeah, so a lot of music, listen to a lot of music.
Okay.
I'm because I don't plan or whatever, I'm always thinking, okay, where am I going next? Where am I going tonight? Where am I going tomorrow morning? What direction am I going? What am I going to hit? So that was the main thing, is where I'm going.
I'm going to stop you right there, Chris. This is by far going to be the most controversial part of the show. Far more controversial than what you ride, far more controversial than what you do. What's your favorite jams? What are you listening to?
Wait, are you a Skinner guy? What are you listening to?
Yeah, you Skinner guy, you country and western guy, you Toby Keith guy.
I'm probably
I think he's, Taylor Swift.
85% Christian music and 10% kind of 80s stuff, and then the rest country.
There you
Kind of a mix
go.
of all three of those.
Controversy.
Yeah.
So, I noticed on your route, you went all over the country, but did you specifically avoid the West Coast? Because, we're over here on the ocean in Santa Cruz, and you did not touch Highway 1, did you?
No, I had plans to. The first time I was headed that way, I specifically wanted to ride the northern part of California, and weather stopped me. So I'm like, okay, I'll come back to
Like
it. No
too
big
good
deal.
weather? Or
Wait,
what?
we have 3 bad days of weather a year. You came then?
No, not up there. It was cold and rainy. So, so I turned. I went basically back across the country to the East Coast and messed around. So then the second time when I went back, I was in San Diego, somewhere down there, and I had absolutely every intention of riding up one and going all the way. But looking at it, I look at my map and everything's just red, just solid red, like just a lot of traffic, and just the time. And I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it. It just won't work out.
Yeah.
Time wise, I was already running behind, so I'm like, it's just not worth it. So just kind of bad timing on my part on getting back out there to ride that area.
So one of our mottos when we eat is live to ride, ride to eat. And I'm wondering if you ever said like, I'm in the mood for barbecue. I think I'll go to Memphis. Like,
Absolutely.
did food spur you in your travels? And what were some of these food spots you had to have?
Well, you're on the West Coast, Pink's. I made a trip to Pink's. I love Pink's. So, in fact, there's a ride out there this weekend. A big ride. I don't know if y'all are aware of that or not. The Bite the Weenie ride. But yeah, no, I did make a special trip for that. I made special trips to Wings up in New York, the Anchor Bar. That was the one that I was like, hey, I want to go way up there just for some wings.
Nice.
So what part of the country?
I did make some special trips to hit some.
So where's
cool
your favorite
spots.
food in the country?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, of course.
I like a little bit of everything, but it's hard to beat some good Texas barbecue.
That's
Oh,
true.
there you go. Bagel, you got a question?
Yeah, I was wondering, in addition to food, when you were deciding just spur of the moment where you were going to go, how much of a role did traffic and road speed have to do with the routes that you chose and the destinations you were going to each day?
Not a whole lot. Again, that falls back on my planning. And to tell you that, so I wound up in the East Coast and not planned. And all my friends were texting me how ignorant I was, but I wound up in going through Queens at 4:30 on a Friday afternoon.
Oh, wow.
So
Surprise.
I lost like 3 hours sitting through all that downtown traffic because I didn't plan for it. I wasn't even paying attention. I was just, hey, I'm going to go up through New York and ride here. And man, I looked down at my clock and I'm like, oh shoot, it's 4:30 on a Friday afternoon and I'm in, downtown New York, not the place to be.
Man.
Wow.
So yeah, it was when I wanted to go somewhere, I just headed that way. I didn't look at
So did you hit the tail?
weather, roads. It was just, hey, it's time to go. Let's go.
And you weren't counting on like just trying to figure out how many miles you were going to do just to try to get as many miles as you could under the belt? Was that part of the decision?
I mean, yes. I mean,
Okay.
I would kind of wake up and say, hey, I want to head towards, whatever state, or I want to go hit these few stops or whatever. And I know that's going to get me 600, 700, 800 miles. So, I'll figure out another couple of 100 miles after that,
Cool.
see where I want to end up.
So what do you think
see where I'm going to want to sleep or whatever. So
what was the mix between interstate and secondary roads, you think?
I would guess interstates were probably 40%.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe 50. I don't know exactly that. I had to do a 100 CCC, so coast to coast. I did that, and then there were a couple of days where, like, you know what, I need to make up some time, so let me just jump on the interstate and go. Then, a lot of times if I was just going cross country to get somewhere, but I did try to stay a lot on the secondary roads. That I did over 200 miles on dirt roads.
Really?
Wait,
Wow.
what? Dude.
Wow.
All right. I just want to say, I'm not afraid of controversy here. And I've said many things before that piss people off, but I'm just going to say, like, you have set a whole new bar for real biker shit. Like, dude, like,
Yeah.
I like to tell people what real biker shit is, but you just kind of like blown it all away. So, I mean, I just have so much respect for what you did. Is this the hardest thing you've ever done in your life?
I would say so. Yeah, I guess so. It was tough. But it's one of those things kind of when you're in the moment, I'm just not even thinking about it. So, I took a whole half day. I spent over 5 hours I took the ferry over to Mackinac Island. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. And I walked around there, and that was one thing that I really needed, because I didn't realize that, man, sitting on that bike for so long, walking, the only time I walked was if I walked into a gas station or walked into the hotel. That was it for 3 months. So that was very enjoyable to get. I walked about 4 miles on the island over there, just kind of walking around, checking it out. And, but that was time well spent to get me rested and off the bike a little bit. And, that break. And that's where kind of the mental aspect, you just got to know when it's time to, you're thinking that 5 hours off the bike is going to really set you back, but it's really going to make you right. You're going to do a whole lot better after that.
Yeah.
You're not going to be struggling. You're going to be fresh and rejuvenated, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy what you've done. And I'm not going to ask you what you're going to do next, because you don't need to do anything next. I think you've raised the bar so high. But I think I first really learned about you. There was a post, I think it said, how much is a 2021 Road Glide worth with 100,000 miles on it?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's a really good question. Yeah. Emma, how much does that to value a bike?
I would actually suggest that this is now such a historically significant bike. You've actually added value to it. Where's the bike right now?
My garage.
Is it being retired, or is it going to be a daily?
I've got a couple of things working. I mean, I hope Harley takes it. That would be, I would love for them to take it and put it in the museum.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, I think it's such a historically significant event. And as a snapshot in time, I think it'd be really hard to duplicate it, because you'd need somebody with your experience. You would need the road conditions to be those of post-pandemic, because most of the roads are still quieter than they were pre-pandemic. You would need gasoline to be at a certain price, and the infrastructure, and so on and so on and so on and so on. You may have the long distance motorcycling record over a period of time forever.
Actually,
no, it won't last very long at all.
Really?
No, he has painted a big target on his back, because now he's shown it's possible. And in his world of long distance riders, I mean, how many people do you know that you think they're capable of doing it too?
Oh, I know 8 to 10 people right off the top of my head.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna.
No. But given the time and the funding, who could do the ride no problem whatsoever.
Right.
I know a few of those who have the funding, They just don't quite have the time yet. And a few of those I know are like really close to being retired. So there's plenty of people who do it. I expect someone to do it next year.
If you lose your title, will you come back and defend it?
Well, but he was the first.
There you go.
He was the first, and that's the thing. You put yourself in the record books.
Yep.
I assume that this will be submitted to Guinness?
No. No. So my understanding, and I haven't personally verified it, but I've been told by several people, Guinness will not certify anything that has to do with time and distance on a public road.
That's not true.
Gotcha.
They don't want people chasing a record and having a wreck, killing somebody.
Gotcha.
Whatever.
Oh, with time. Well, because Danielle Lynn is a friend of mine, and she has the Guinness record for the longest continuous ride in 1 year, which is only like 78,000 miles, I think she did.
Yeah. There is something like that I plan on looking into. It's longest trip away from home or something like that.
Yeah, so they won't do it with the time to encourage people to speed. Oh, I get it. So like the cannonball, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Right.
Interesting. Well, and just curious, is that the only bike that you ride, or do you have other bikes in your garage?
Yeah, I have two road glides and I have a Pan Am.
Oh. What do you think
that's
of the
one
Pan
I've been
Am?
riding lately. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Have you hit any dirt on it yet?
I have not. Like, it was funny. I bought that bike like the weekend before we left for the IBR. So, and I didn't even have time to go pick it up. I had them deliver it to my house. I jumped on it. I rode it like 30 miles up to a bar, had a drink with some friends, and I rode home. And literally the next day I took off for Utah for the IBR. So I did the IBR. I came back and literally rested up 2 or 3 days. And took off again. I was gone for 3.5 months.
Which I love that too, because I mean, the iron butt is achievable for most people if they really, prepare and get, but to do a rally is, for many of us, is like unfathomable. And that was just your appetizer.
Yeah.
So how would you feel about having a scooterist as a wingman?
Sure, absolutely.
Bagel? Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm good for 2,002 days. Beyond that, I can't promise anything.
Right.
I know.
Did you?
I did.
I
did the Salazar 2000 last summer on a Vespa.
Very, very nice. How long did that take?
It was 46 hours, 55 minutes.
Yeah.
To do, I think, 1,522 miles or something like that.
Yeah. What's the top speed on that?
Top speed's about 75, maybe 80 on a good day.
Okay, yeah, that's a little higher than what I was thinking. Okay, so you're good, yeah.
So I have a final question for you, Chris.
Thanks.
I mean, it's an absolutely superb achievement, and all credit to you. Did you stay on your bike all the time, or did you have any little bumps? Did you skid off? Any incidents en route?
I had a couple of incidents. I never laid the bike down.
Right.
I'll tell you the probably the scariest one, and I didn't post about it or anything. But I was fresh. I literally woke up in the morning. It was probably, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd left. I'd stayed with a friend of mine. Stayed at his house in Arkansas, and I took off. I was in Oklahoma. Just going down, it was like a Sunday morning, no traffic. I was on a major highway, and I was just zoned out, I guess, just listening to music, whatever. And I happened to catch a glimpse of my phone. My exit was, a tenth of a mile, 0.1. Quick glance in my mirror, no car behind me. I start shooting over to take the exit, look up at the exit sign, see that, okay, this is my exit. And then just another quick glance in my rearview mirror, just again to make sure no one, I wasn't cutting off a car or anything like that. And obviously going down the road, it was going down a major highway, so I was cruising probably 80, maybe 85.
Sure.
Swerved over, hit the exit, and it probably slowed down to 65 or something. But I didn't realize it was one of the exits that was just a complete U-turn.
Oh,
One of those circle ones. So I had to make a quick decision. I tried, hitting the brakes and laying it over and making the curve. And then I started getting the wobble. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to make it. So I need to go off of the edge into the grass and down because it was a hill. It was a grassy hill.
Oh shit!
I said, okay, I'm going to go down this hill. And I probably got slowed down to maybe 50, maybe 45.
Damn, dude.
And as soon as I hit the grass, I knew, okay, I know I'm going to lay it down. So I was trying to be cognizant to, okay, I need to lay it down on the hillside. So, the bike's not upside down and I at least got a chance of picking it up.
Gotcha.
And I'm just going down and it was grass. It was deep grass, thick. I said, okay, there's no way I can hit my brakes. So I just got to kind of ride this out until I lay it over. And I just kept riding and I'm like, man, I haven't laid this over yet. What's going on? I said, well, okay, let me just see if I can make a slight turn and go back up. And I wound up being able to just kind of turn and go right back up the hill and hit the road and got right back on the road.
Wow. That's awesome.
I immediately parked. I jumped off my bike and I was jumping up and down like, man, I wish I would have had that on video.
Oh, yeah.
My bike was just covered in grass.
That all like
everywhere. So I was digging grass out from underneath.
Yeah.
And,
That all like
trying to make sure there wasn't a big oil leak or anything like that. But that was probably the worst thing.
So I imagine that like all happened within like 3 seconds. You're like,
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was quick.
Was like,
it was very quick.
Amazing.
So I have a hypothetical question for you. So I decided to do something crazy, and I'm going to be hosting a little competition out here in January called the Numb Nuts Challenge. And I'm throwing up $1,000 prize to see who can sit on their stationary bike the longest. And I'm thinking I could do like 36 hours. I'm just curious. If you were allowed to get off, say, every few hours for a quick toilet break, but you had to have your helmet and boots on at all times, how long do you think you could sit on your stationary bike without getting off?
That's probably not something I could win because you're not moving.
Yeah, exactly.
I think just sitting there would be just way difficult.
Yep. How long do you think you could do it?
Me, I wouldn't make it a day. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the motivation.
Well, I extend an invitation if you'd like to come and try and win $1,000 in January. And we're going to park in a parking lot in front of Emma's shop, and we're going to sit on bikes.
Okay, I may give it a shot.
And have food and drinks brought out to us. And I am entering only to defend my money.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
okay.
But
I'll
it kind of scares me having a pro like you.
Well, that's one of those things, though. That's just completely different. You're not moving, so I think the boredom would set in just way quicker.
We're going to be throwing things at her, so that'll help.
Yeah, there will be people around. Well, I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your story. It was incomprehensible to so many people because to them it's not possible. Right. But you have just shown what is possible to do on a bike, and you did it with ease and with comfort because this is what you do, long distance riding. Right. Which just reminds us that there is this whole community of people who love long distance riding. Sure. We've had Wendy Crockett on the show when she won the Iron Butt, but this whole nother level. And that's what I love, tapping into these other cultures and communities in motorcycling that we don't really know is there because you guys do extreme long distance riding and that's real biker shit. And I just want to let you know that the Motorcycles and Misfits podcast did donate $100 to your cause.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So you're $100 closer. I'm sure some of our listeners are going to step up as well.
I hope so.
Let's push it over 100 grand.
I love sharing the story. I enjoy talking about it and introducing people to it and letting people know. I mean, this stuff is possible. If you can think it, you can do it. You just people are limited by their own thinking.
And just a reminder to everyone, it's milemonstersinc.com.
That's it.
milemonstersinc.com, and you can go and donate. What a great cause. But also, I just feel like also for all the people who were naysayers, like I'm trying to make up for them because you took a lot of shit. So you did a great thing, and thank you for coming on our show and sharing the story and setting a bar for more people to strive for.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much for reaching out. And
you are welcome.
Yeah,
No
well done.
problem at all.
Great talking to you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you
Me
very
too.
much. And I'll send you an invite to the Numbnuts Challenge.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can do.
I figured I'd reach out to you and to Long Haul Paul and get some
Oh,
ringers
no, I
in
don't
there.
know about him. Yeah, he can probably take it on that. I don't know if I want to compete against him.
I know. I want to get some ringers in there and make it fun. And we'll bring like food and stuff and have some entertainment.
Yeah,
He's crazy enough to win something like that.
He is. He is. I know.
He's got a screw loose for sure.
All right. Well, thank you very
Nice.
much. And I'll send you a link to the show after we've done recording.
yeah.
Thank you very
Chris.
much. I
coming,
appreciate
man.
it. Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
All right.
Well
See you,
done.
brother.
Thanks for coming
Ciao.
on. Take
You
care.
bet. Thank you.
So, you guys, pretty cool what he's done.
I
huh?
like stories, bro. That's some good story right there.
Yes,
You-
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I especially
Hey, he's
love
still
though,
there, so don't say anything about him.
Yeah. I especially love though.
Hey, you
like,
can stick around, man. That's good.
I especially love, like I said, how nasty people were getting and how polite he was,
Yeah, but the
and not
difference-
defensive at all.
gotta
But,
kill him with
but
kindness,
he
bro.
just kind of came back with like, "Okay, bro, whatever you say."
Yeah, but he knew he'd done it. He knew he did it. And when you know you've done something like that,
Yeah.
and you are cocksure, I did this. That does afford you a little, it affords you a
Yeah,
little
it's-
swagger, and you can shut him down politely. You don't have to yell.
It's not like he's trying to run a pyramid scheme, you know?
No,
No, he came out of pocket for the whole thing, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Knock. I know you got to leave in a sec. Do you have
Sure.
a time to talk about your latest purchase?
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exciting for me. At least. It's exciting.
Trying to start moving along on this project. I bought a swing arm for my Versys that's in pieces.
What sort of swing arm?
It's an actual Versys swing arm. It is from a 2015.
Yes.
And and it was like $175, and it's like in great condition. Came with a axle pivot at the rear axle and the swing arm pivot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
it.
Because you have 3 bikes, one with extremely high mileage,
Yeah,
one that's just ugly but
Yeah.
runs great, and then one that's horrible on the highway.
yeah.
So you basically can't go any distance with any of your bikes. They're all fun and you keep them
Well,
running.
no, my Superhawk, that's my long haul bike.
Yes, but you keep borrowing my car to do long stuff because you don't have a good hop on and go,
How many
drive
miles
a car.
has the Super
But
Bowl
this
got on it?
120
Versus,
something.
Oh, God.
this Versus is a good potential bike. And remind
No,
everyone,
hold on a second.
yeah.
The thing is with the Superhawk is it's like driving a fucking car. It's awesome because like I'm only pulling like 4,000 RPMs
Yeah.
and I'm going 80 miles an hour. That's like my long haul bike.
Yeah.
The Versys is the project I'm going to work on is going to be another silly hooligan.
It's the
weird
650.
Oh, you're building
yeah.
an okay.
Yeah.
But you got wasn't like $100 for most of a bike?
First of all, yeah, Rich had a bike that he had stored in his shop because somebody had wrecked it, and it
Yeah.
was like an insurance buy, and Rich bought the carcass of it. But the thing still has a clean title. It's just in pieces.
Yeah,
And
it was like missing a front end, wasn't it?
It's missing a front end. It's missing a swing arm and some tank and a lot of other bits and bobs. Engine is there. It's got oil in it, and it's got less than 1,000 miles.
So basically,
Wow.
you got an engine and a frame from a Versus,
Yeah.
and for $100 with
Yeah.
the title.
Well, he wanted
Dude.
$150 for it when I got there, and he's like, "Knock, how about I'll give you a discount if you take the entire fucking thing?" Because I was there to go buy just the frame
Mm-hmm.
or the motor, and he said, "Here, just take the whole thing." And
Yeah, so you got most of a bike.
yeah.
So that's why I'm like, this is such a great potential project, but you've been dragging because you bought this years ago.
Because it's life happens and shit, and
I know.
I'm lazy. And
But that's why when you got a swing arm, I'm like,
yeah.
there's progress.
Well, I just realized $175. Like I could spend that much money in a month on groceries or like eating out. So I'm like, I should just get a swing arm so it lasts longer.
Well, the other thing
typical
too
person.
is
You need food this month now, or what?
You're right.
I think that the Versus is a great platform to
Yeah.
build something. I mean, there are people doing flat tracking
Oh, yeah.
on modified Versys.
Yeah, and I'm kind of moving towards that direction.
I think
too.
and you already have that engine in your Ninja.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with it. It's a good
You know-
engine.
Yeah.
Knock. I think I've got some triple trees.
Oh, actually, I have a ZX10 front end.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's just old. I just got to get it all squared away. So,
So
yeah.
when you bolt that on and you stand back and look at it, you'll get an idea of the direction to go in the bike.
Yeah, well, see, what I did was there's photos online of that versus completely naked with just the motor and the wheels on there.
Right.
So I took that photo, and I've just been on Illustrator or Photoshop just doing little concept sketches with it.
Yeah, because
So-
you're good with computers. The rest of us just get a fucking Sharpie.
Yeah,
Stick the photograph on the fridge and then Sharpie in what we think it should look like.
It's probably going to be like that too, because ultimately, you know, it's easier just to have the process be organic or whatever, and
Right.
print it out and do scratches and doodles, do cardboard stuff, and it's probably. I haven't really done anything like this before, so it's going to be a fun, interesting journey. And I'm stoked about it.
We
so.
actually approve of CAD here, and
Oh, yeah.
that is cardboard aided design.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what's great is like if I wanted to, I could take this swing arm and put it on my Versys and see how it would work out, because they kind of have the same kind of frame. And so I got like my prototype forever project bike that I'm riding now. It's got a bunch of weird doodads done to it. And the idea is you take what's good in the mods that I have now and transfer it over to the new bike. So, yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. You know, I was like,
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time.
Cool. Well, do you need a split or do you want to stay for the next scene?
I'm going to take off in a little bit, yeah.
All right. I wanted to talk about something that's getting a lot of buzz. Yes, a lot of buzz. All right. See you now.
Bye, Knock.
Yeah, there's
Better not.
a new bike that they announced that is getting quite a lot of buzz. Bagel, I'm not sure if you saw this because it's kind of in your world as well.
Is it a motorbike? Is it a scooter? No, Knock, were you born in a barn? Oh, all right, all right. Oh, he's just going for a pee.
Oh.
Bagel, have you heard of the Honda, is it Navi or Navi? Navi?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
you'll want to look it up. So,
Hmm.
all right. So, and it started with, I think Knock was like, are you going to get this? I'm like, what? What is it?
Well, I think
So,
you should.
Let's talk about the Honda Navi. Do you think Navi or Navi?
Either or.
Let's go
I
with
think
Navi.
I think you know
Navi, I would think.
Navi. It's Navi. Honda Navi.
Tomato.
So what the Honda Navi is, it's a Grom-like bike. This is a small 110
Okay.
Well,
cc.
I'm just gonna ratchet it back a little here.
Yeah.
It's substantially smaller than a Grom. It's physically a lot smaller than a Grom.
Yeah.
It's got.
But to all motorcyclists, Grom is like a mini bike.
Oh,
So
this
I said
is
it's a
even
Grom-like.
smaller.
So it's a 110. Well, I don't know. What's the seat height on a Grom? Because this seat height is 30 inches.
30.
Yeah, I think
Sounds
a
like
Grom
31, I think.
31 or 32.
This has got 30.1 inches.
Yeah, but
so
this,
it's not.
I mean, it is
Slow.
substantially smaller. It's shorter. It's narrower. It's just
So
And
dimensionally.
and this
it's
isn't
a
like the old CT70 or something, right?
no. So what this is, it's
Yeah.
using a scooter engine. So this is a CVT, carbureted. All right.
Yes.
Not fuel injected.
Okay.
But this styling is similar to the Grom. It's a little fun mini bike. They've made this bike affordable. It's coming in with a retail price of about $1,800,
Wow.
before
What's the
dealer
top speed?
fees.
about 55, I think.
Yeah.
That I'm going to consider that, because generally 55 is everything on a Grom, and we're going to get a lot of people writing in saying, "Oh, my Grom does 70 miles an hour." Your Grom might. 55 is everything on a Grom. And so what we've got here is a smaller engine with an automatic transmission, and yes, it's a smaller bike. I think a realistic top speed is going to be 45 to 50.
What's
they're
the
saying 50.
drivetrain?
So, well,
What's the
CVT.
drivetrain from?
I don't know. You tell me,
It's-
Bagel.
ah.
It's a CVT, 110cc carbureted, and it's
Well,
Indian built.
I'm wondering if it's derivative of the PCX motor, because
No.
the PCX 125 has a very powerful motor for its size.
No, it is from well, first of all, this bike is from India, and it is similar to
Oh.
a model of scooter
Right.
that we don't have here. That I don't. I'm trying to remember the name. It's basically taken from a scooter there. So a couple things about this. First of all, It looks pretty cool for an $1,800
Right.
little bike.
And for those who know, you can see where they've cut corners. You know, the Grom has disc brakes front and rear. This has drum brakes front and rear.
And, yeah,
The Grom
rubber.
has aluminium wheels. This has pressed steel wheels. You know, the Grom has fancy gold painted forks that look like Olin's if you squint at them with your glasses off. This has very, very conventional forks. So it's obviously it's built down to a budget, but it comes to
basic.
It's basic.
And
it comes in some jolly colours.
Guess
though.
how big the gas tank is?
How big is that gas tank, Liza?
0.9 gallons.
Well, that
I was
would
going to say
be
less than a gallon. But yeah.
that will probably
0.9.
be enough to take you at least 100 miles.
100 to 110 mile range is what they're saying per tank.
You see, you've got to understand how Honda and other Japanese-based manufacturers work, even if their bikes are made elsewhere. The minimum considered range for a motorcycle is 200 miles. So if you've got a bike that does 50 to the gallon, it's going to end up with a 4-gallon tank. That's about the projected range. Scooters, they want their scooters to have a 100-mile range because it's considered a more urban bike. So that makes sense.
And I know it's a stretch, but this styling reminds me a little bit. It looks like a cross between a Grom and a Motocompo.
It has got Motocompo-ish about
Right?
it.
Interesting.
Shall we call it the Moto Compost?
So,
It comes in brown.
so it's got a lot of buzz, and it's interesting. I mean, the Honda has done well with all the small displacement bikes that they've been bringing in, starting with the Grom, the Monkey, the Cub.
Right. And you know what I see this as? I see this as a fantastic alternative to underpowered 50cc bikes, because especially in the scooter world, there are loads of 50cc scooters out there that, you know, are good for 25 miles an hour. And that's not good for anything other than putting around on a college campus. But with a bike that can do 55 for the same more or less price point, that's a pretty good deal, I would think, especially for somebody who's just starting out, who isn't going to be going on the freeway, but wants to ride around all of the surface roads, even 55-mile-an-hour roads. You could take this thing on it. You might not want to do it for a long time, but you could do it. So it seems to me like this is actually a very versatile bike that comes in at a very low price point.
It also has some storage on it, not big enough to put a helmet in it like many scooters, but where your feet would be if it had a step through. It has a storage compartment that you can put like a backpack in, you know?
And actually, I think they look better without it. Because there are
You can get it
some,
without,
yeah. No, there are some without it. And there is one, I'm looking at one in Honda Britain colours, which is red, white and blue, without it. It's actually a funky look. Almighty, this thing is odd. It is very strange indeed, but kind of okay. So
one smart thing they did, one of the things they're trying to appeal to, you guys know, for like the Grom crowd, there's like kind of like with the Ruckus, you get these whole groups of people who get into it and like stretch it, modify it. Right out of the bat, when they introduced this, they had customized Navis that they had given out to some bike builders to put custom exhaust and paint and stuff like that, which is pretty smart. They're thinking this will be that type of thing that people can customize them and ride in groups on.
It's got a carbon fiber dash.
Woo. So
well, it might be molded plastic to look like carbon fiber, but that doesn't matter.
So here's the whammy though. When I did a little digging, I found something out about the bike that other people hadn't really talked about yet.
Oh,
this is not a new bike.
Really?
No, I'm looking at an article right here from 2018. The Honda Navi discontinued in India due to poor sales. It seems it was introduced in about 2016 in India. Made in India for the Indian market. And it failed and was discontinued, which I find it very interesting that then, well, let's go try the American market. That's two completely different markets.
What's the reason though? Is it because of the price?
So I also did a lot of research on forums and stuff like that. There was a few reasons. One, the price. What sounds like just a toy to us, I mean, $1,800 is nothing, right?
Is premium.
They're used to paying a premium for a Honda over there versus like a Bajaj or something like that, because they know that they're going to get a quality machine. But the price that this is at, there are other machines that do a lot more for the same price. So it's competing with other manufacturers that provide a bigger engine, bigger bike, all that, right? Yeah. Second of all, a lot of people had hard starting issues because it's not fuel injected. They don't know how to work the choke.
Oh no.
You know, on a bike with a choke, you have to really understand like the weather and how that's all affecting and get it dialed in just right. I had to teach someone who was renting my KLR last weekend. He's never ridden a motorcycle with a choke on it.
So I'm looking,
and he did kill the battery trying to start it one day.
Right. So I'm looking at this back shot of the Navi, and it looks like it's got a left-hand thumb choke, which is pretty conventional. And I think that is kind of indicative of its kind of basic manufacturing cost. Because, Bagel, how many scooters these days have thermocouplings for their chokes? Basically automatic chokes.
I don't know of any scooters that do.
Well, no, but carburetted scooters never had chokes. They all had thermocouplings that the choke worked automatically.
It's automatic.
Yes.
Oh, well, they're automatic ones. Yeah.
So,
but they don't even have those anymore. I don't
right,
think,
and I mean, basically every carburetted Vespa made since 2000 or probably the late 90s had no choke. It had an automatic choke. You know, certainly all the Japanese ones.
Right.
The Yamaha C3, what a machine that was. I remember how overwhelmed you... Oh, no, you said you were underwhelmed by it.
So another reason that came up was styling. It is a bizarre looking bike, especially for India, where they still have retro looking bikes like Royal Enfields and stuff, right? This looks like it's weird.
It is quite strange.
Looks like a kid's little push toy almost, right? Like a plastic toy.
I never thought I would see a bike that made a Honda Monkey look aggressive. And this does. It's a strange looking thing. I don't dislike it, but it's certainly it's odd. Judge for yourselves.
So my question is, would you buy this or something like the Benelli 125?
Oh,
although it's more expensive.
Benelli's a 135
more. Oh, 135. Sorry, it's $1,000 more. But
well, I can answer that because I mean I've kind of been loosely shopping around for something like that, like a used Grom or a Benelli 135, which are going to be a lot more sporty and fun. But I want to have a small bike with small wheels to throw dirt tires on and go do stupid stuff in the dirt.
Right.
That's what I want. And I think that this might be a good candidate.
You're going to buy
and
one?
I think it might have a better resale value than a TNT 135 because people don't know what those are. They don't know what the Benelli is. We don't know how well it's going to last. This is a Honda.
I think I think the value in this bike will be, because it is strange, make it stranger. Paint it a really odd color or get it wrapped with like baked beans. You know, get Jocelyn or something to take a photograph of a pan full of baked beans and get it wrapped in baked beans color or something, or cardboard. So I have like a cardboard colored paint job. It's perfect bike for that.
It is. I was already thinking,
or the
it would be fun to get it
American
wrapped.
flag. What could be more patriotic than the stars and stripes?
I was thinking of just getting like cash dollar bills all over it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh my God.
I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I'm interested. My only question is the power. Now, one thing I did love about, like, I have the 250 scooter right now, which is a good amount of power for the streets.
terrifying amount of power.
It can jump clear of any cars from any intersection pretty swiftly.
And it
Good
has
for 70 miles an hour.
And the 150, I felt that way too when I had the 150 Elite.
yeah, it's not going to be that kind of power.
And I'm kind of concerned because that was one of the other criticisms, that it had dull power.
Right.
This little 110cc, that it just didn't have that. Now, which it's hard for me to imagine because those 150s were Sprite. They were fun.
Well,
is
no,
it possible that 110 is just enough below the bar to make
Or
it out
does the
fun?
CVT take up too much?
No, you just hang on now, because that Elite 150 was actually a flagship bike for Honda. They incorporated a great deal of technology that was cutting edge for the time in that bike. It had a pop-up headlight. Again, it had the thermocoupling for the choke. It had a lot of very clever stuff built into it because it was a flagship, and they were quite expensive. I remember selling those Elite 150s, and they were motorbike money. You know, it wasn't a cheap alternative. It was like $250 motorbike money back in the day. This is not that bike. You know, this is far from it. This is very much built down to a budget. I think you are going to find it a little anemic in power, Liza.
I think you're going to have a hard time selling it, honestly.
Well,
because
but
there's no. It's not like the Grom or the Monkey bike where there was all this like nostalgia. This is not a nostalgia bike.
But then again, yeah,
right. But again, I was saying that I think this is a superior alternative to a 50cc scooter.
Yes.
And in that case, it's going to have a lot more power.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is, in the dirt, you don't need as much power. Where, a lot of people ride little 125cc, like TTR 125s,
right,
for fun. They're a blast.
Oh, TTR 125's got plenty of power.
So I'm just wondering if this will just be fun in the dirt.
I will give you.
Could be.
I'll give you a couple of days lessons on how to operate the choke, Liza.
I know how to operate a choke.
Oh, sure you do.
I have a KLR, damn it.
Now, I will say, though, there is one Achilles heel to this bike in comparison to a 50cc scooter. Now, it's not the case in California, but in a lot of states, they will allow you to register 50cc bikes as mopeds, which have a much lower registration cost.
Right.
Or you don't need to register them at all through 50cc automatics. Right. So with this one as a 110, that would be registered as a motorcycle, no matter what, in all states. So that could be dissuading to some people. But if you're in the market for a low end bike, I think this sounds like a pretty good option to me.
Right.
Well, I'm curious if other people are interested in this, but also it's funny that it failed in India, so they're going to try the American market, which is kind of unique because usually something does so well somewhere, so they're going to try it in another market. Not it failed, so let's go try it over here. I don't know. We'll see. But John, if I get one, will you get one?
No. I'd get the Benelli though.
Yeah, those were fun at Phil's shop.
They were.
I have a feeling next year at AMA Vintage Days that we're going to buy some from Phil and have them set up and ride around Vintage Days, and then either figure out how to get them back here.
Oh, Benelli's?
Yeah.
Okay. They'll probably let you take them hand baggage on the aeroplane. You can ride them up and down the central aisle.
I think Moyne did that one time. He dismantled a bike and put it in luggage and brought it home.
Moyne has certain privileges with certain airlines. I'll buy the plane.
I wanted to get to some emails. And Emma, I'm giving you this email.
Bloody hell. How many are you giving me?
Not to read first, but to prepare yourself because I don't know if you know the answer. While you're reading that, though, I'm going to read one that I really enjoyed.
Oh.
And this one came from Dan. He says, "Hey, Misfits. Liza, thank you for sharing your nervous feelings and normalizing that. I was going through a similar thing late in September during and after a moto camping trip in Acadia National Park. I had a great trip, first time on a multi-day trip, and I'm hooked. However, I had a little scare on the highway through some tight construction zones. It was like groove pavement, uneven pavement, raised structures. That stuff is scary. The scare was completely mental. I just tensed up and lost my nerve. I felt like my tires weren't going to stick. For about a month after, I was nervous on many high-speed corners. I checked my tires, plenty of tread. But I still bought new ones. Back roads were fine, only nervous on the highway. And so I forced myself to ride this super slab and talk to myself through the issue. Stay loose. Look where you want to go. Trail off the brake. Accelerate out of the curve. Stuck with it, and the nerves eventually subsided. Now it's fine, and the tires feel fine. It was entirely mental. So good to hear that others, even motorcyclists I look up to, have gone through similar trials. I appreciate you bringing up the topic and being open and honest. Thank you, Dan, because, I mean, it is hard as somebody who, with my experience, to be going through this. But I know it's a mental game. And for many people, this is that thing, can you work through it or not? And this is why a lot of people give up riding. A lot of people can't work through it, and it's hard. Right. But I'm still bound and determined to work through it.
But last summer, right in the middle of the pandemic, me and McCarthy just did a multi-day trip up to Northern California. We took Highway 1 all the way up to Fort Bragg. And then the crowning piece of the trip was Highway 20 from Fort Bragg over to Willits, which is
I've been on that road.
It's a wonderful road. And so, of course, we stayed at this very, very cheap flea pit of a motel in Fort Bragg. Get up early. And we hit Highway 20 early in the morning. And I've got probably 2/3 worn Contis on Rufus. And the first couple of corners, I was sliding both ends because the tires were cold, the road was damp, and it really put me off for the whole ride. McCarthy, of course, is on the Dosaduro with his sticky Pirellis, having a whale of a time. And he was calling me out, and he said, you're such a wuss. But then when he actually looked at the GoPro footage of it, he said, oh, my God. He said, you were drifting both ends of that bike. So, even when my tires warmed up, the thing is with Contis, I mean, they're cheaper tire, but once you get them nice and warm, they're okay. And it really does. I mean, if you lose a little bit of confidence in traction, it can take you a while to get it back.
What I may have to do, and what I know would be the fix, is a track day.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, yes, I mean, it might or it might not. Because that's a very controlled environment.
But doing track days in the past has reminded me and assured me of the capabilities of the motorcycle and the tires.
Right.
And that I am the weak link, not the bike.
Yeah.
And that's just yet another reason why I encourage people to do things like do a track day. Even on, you could do it on a cruiser. I mean, it just lets you know what the bike is capable of in a safe environment.
Right.
It's not about how fast can you go. It's about learning your relationship with the bike and communicating with it and using your body and trusting it. And that's what it comes down to with like what he's saying. It's trust. And I'm at a point right now, and I don't know why I've lost trust in the tires on the road. I don't know why, but I have lost that trust. I have doubt. So by going to a track, you can get rid of that.
Okay.
So, Emma, you want to read one of those there?
So I'll tell me why.
Tell me why.
From Big Ben Adopted. Can someone, in brackets, Miss Emma, tell me why my 2018 Suzuki V-Strom 1000 needs spark plugs changed at 7,500 miles? Just curious. Thanks for the great podcast, Big Ben. And the answer is because it does. I mean, there's so many factors at play here. Suzuki V-Strom, big V-twin engine. And traditionally, bigger displacement, higher revving engines can be harder on their plugs. There's so many things that could affect that. Combustion temperatures, the design of the injectors, the design of the combustion chambers themselves. At some stage, some Suzuki engineer has said, look, we're seeing significant deterioration in engine performance after 7,500 miles with this plug. Just put new plugs in. And, you know, plugs aren't massively expensive. I mean, some of the more fancy ones, like the Iridiums, can come at about $10-15 a pop. But I don't think the V-Strom 1000 is particularly expensive plug, so it's not a significant cost factor. I know it's a chore getting to them. But generally, Suzuki don't mess around with maintenance. If they say you need to change them at 7,500 miles, you need to change them. Yamaha, again, are absolutely notorious. You better check the plugs. You look at any high-performance Yamaha, and it's check the plugs every service. And you better do it. You'd better pull them out and check them and gap them and make sure you're not seeing a melted electrode. I was going to say electrode. Ha, ha, ha.
I totally forgot. We have a game.
Do we?
We do.
Well, do we have time for it? Okay.
Yes, we're going to do this.
All right, let's do it.
Bagel and John, Emma and I have created a game for you two to play.
For you two to play.
For us to.
Yes.
Oh my.
And this is because
you're boys and the kitchen is not necessarily your environment.
This is because it's Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
So you think.
That's what I'm saying.
And so first of all, happy
Silly.
Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yeah.
But this is a time when many people are going into the kitchen and pulling out all those pans and stuff they don't use but once a year and making those big meals. And it got me thinking about
You guys forget I'm Italian.
It got me thinking about things we sometimes use from the kitchen on our motorcycles.
Yes.
Things that maybe you don't want your wife or mom
Husband.
to find out you've been using.
Girlfriend.
So
Yes.
here's simple. Emma and I came up with a list of things from the kitchen that we have used on motorcycle repair.
Oh,
Let's
and
see
still do.
If you guys can guess what it's used for. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right, bring it on.
All right, so the first one, the oven.
For heating up a case to install a
Yeah.
bearing.
For what? What'd you say?
Heating up a case to install a bearing.
Yep.
Yep.
I also said for powder coating, which
Yeah.
you could do in your oven. Just don't let anyone
That's
find out. Exactly. All right. How about this? A baking sheet.
Baking sheet.
I'll give you a clue. Emma has one in the garage right now that she was using.
Could use it to
For
stop oil dripping.
Yes.
I was going to say for sheet metal repair.
Yes.
And Emma, you want to say what you were using? the
And,
baking
you know,
sheet?
anything where you want to warm up a component and, let's say, a longer cylinder head, and you want it uniformly warmed up, put a baking sheet underneath it. You don't get hot spots. So if you've got, say, a 4-cylinder cylinder head and you want to warm it up to put some new valve guides in, put it on a baking sheet. So then it doesn't get hot in the middle and stay a little bit cooler on the ends and get banana shaped.
And the
What do
microwave.
you mean
Microwave
when
would
you
work
put
for
it
that
in the
either.
oven?
You can't put metal things in the microwave,
Well,
Johnny.
and what I realized too is you can also use it if you're working on a carburetor or engine parts, so that you're not going to have any dripping onto whatever you're working, and you can also pick up and move it to different parts of the workbench.
Yes.
So, which goes in line with another thing that we have out in the garage: muffin tins.
Muffin
Oh,
top.
to hold your spare bolts and nuts.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, for sorting nuts and bolts. All right.
Yep.
How about the freezer?
You freeze your bearings before you install them.
That's right.
Or bagel, or
If you need to phase separate your gasoline.
that was good.
valve guides, darling.
Oh, of course.
You
Well,
should-
any
you should
similar metals you need
always-
to install.
Always freeze your valve guides, darling.
Sure.
All right. And this is one I have out in the garage I use. It's like what do you call it? Like a soup pot, like a soup.
Soup.
Yeah, like
Like
a pot for doing
pot or a
like
bowl?
No, a pot for heating up soup.
Like on your stove.
A
Yeah, you use it for
saucepan.
cleaning parts.
A saucepan.
No, not a saucepan. Well, maybe a saucepan. Yeah. I actually found that it's the perfect size for soaking clutch plates.
No, but I don't use that.
Because it's just a little bit bigger on the clutch plate, so you only need to fill up like an inch of oil in there to do it. But that ties in with another one. How about freezer bags
Oh, you can put parts in it when you're dismantling your motor.
Yes, you can.
that you can label?
Right.
Yes.
But Emma has another source, another use for them.
And, actually, Bagel's exempt because he doesn't know what a fucking clutch is, do you, Bagel?
Oh, I do. I have
No,
clutches
you
in many of my bikes.
Oh, I bet they're
The
strange.
Heinkel has a clutch.
I bet it's very odd. No,
It's
I
just
use...
a round circle thing with friction plates and steel. Like any
Okay,
other
very
clutch.
good. No, I use freezer bags for exactly that same purpose that Liza uses the pot for. You, pop your clutch plates in a freezer bag and fill it up with oil. Seal it up and then leave it overnight. So you've got nice oil-soaked clutch plates. And, that's very, very economical because the last thing you want to do is use disgusting old oil or waste all your good oil soaking into your clutch plates.
And another thing that you can use freezer bags for is for if you want to clean parts with some like Simple Green, you stick them in the bag with some Simple Green, let it soak overnight, and there you go.
All
Next
the
morning.
things. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, the next one on the list, wooden spoon.
Yes.
Should you use that in changing a tire, maybe?
No, I actually use this for hitting people because it doesn't leave a mark.
Oh, that doesn't do. That's not a motorcycle thing.
If you're not leaving the
don't
mark,
touch
you're not
that.
using it right.
That doesn't count.
It's a good.
No, it's
Oh
good.
yeah, no. When you want to keep people out of the drawer that says "Don't touch," this is my shit that Emma's always going in.
Liza
That's when I pull out the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you. All right, here's one. I don't know if you guys know. A large pot of boiling water.
Large.
When you're giving birth to a bike?
Yes, yeah, you can.
I don't know.
After a motor sexual encounter, no doubt.
This is a good trick that I've done, especially when restoring an older bike.
Right.
You can heat up rubber and make it pliable, like carb boots. When you have old carb boots that are very stiff, drop them into boiling water and they become pliable.
You see, everybody thinks of carb boots as being rubber, but they're not. They're synthetic rubber, which basically means they're plastic. And they're plasticized rubber, and they go hard after heat cycles. So if you warm them up in boiling water, they get lovely and soft.
Right, but they're only going to get hard again, though, if they cool off.
Well, it's just to help you get them over the ridge. Get the ridge over that flange,
But I remember that Cleveland Moto told us about wintergreen, which keeps them soft and pliable.
Ooh, boiling
wintergreen oil.
But Emma, you had
We don't need to boil it.
another reason for a pot of boiling water to test.
Oh, thermostats. If you have a liquid-cooled bike and you want to see when your thermostat opens, you pot of boiling water with the thermostat in it, and then a temperature stick from a turkey or something, something you stick inside your turkey. And you
thermometer.
Well, that's what we call them. That is what we call them in England.
Thermometer?
A thermometer. And, you can test very, very accurately and they're amazing when you see them do it because you think, it's going to be you're not going to be able to see it, but thermostat's closed and it gets up to that exact temperature and they just go pop and open. It's a wonderful thing.
All right, linen napkins.
Apart from the obvious cleaning.
Well, when you can't find a shop rag, they'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you need to check for where that oil leak is coming from, maybe.
And make sure you hide them from your mum.
That's true.
How about aim a flame?
Anal flame?
I don't even know. What is anal flame?
Aim a flame. The long lighter?
An anal flame is
Aim
when
a
you've
flame.
been eating Indian food and you light your fart.
I've used that for shrink wrap on wires.
Yeah, shrink tubing on wiring.
Yeah, that's the perfect use for
Exactly it. Okay, keep it clean. Turkey baster.
Oh, for sucking out too much oil when you overfill the crankcase.
Yes.
And actually, when you're
Been there, done that.
when you're assembling an engine, it's always good to have a turkey baster handy because you can squirt oil kind of as you go and just
Yeah.
squirt of oil.
What was
out.
that again? Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There it
Ooh,
is. Pyrex measuring cup.
Oh, for measuring oil and fluids.
And Emma made a
Yeah.
very good point because usually those things are in white plastic, not clear. And it's a lot easier to see on a Pyrex measuring cup.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. A ratio right, or as I like to call them, a ratio wrong. They're made out of opaque or opaque plastic. And with my eyesight being as crap as it is, I'm like, what are the numbers on here? So the Pyrex measuring, they're beautiful. They're clear.
Yep.
They've got a lovely red scale on the side. And you can steal one from the kitchen, measure out your oil and wipe it out very cleanly and then put it back and nobody notices what disgusting fluid you've had in there.
And this last one, let's see if you guys can guess. Bananas.
Oh.
For sticking in somebody else's tailpipe.
Yep.
That is good.
There's
but
night
there's
bananas.
another.
No, I relayed the story and it wasn't Ted Simon on Jupiter. There was a guy who was riding a Triumph in the Gobi Desert or something and he hauled his transmission case and all the oil came out. And the only thing he had were his bananas. So he stuck all the bananas in the transmission and it got him out the desert.
Because it cool.
Because the lubricating property of nanas.
Well, there you
Who
go.
knew that the bananas had so much lubricity?
Well, I mean, they are quite slippery. I mean, if you kind of squeeze one, which brings me to why, you know why fork oil smells so bad, don't you? Because it's
Because made of
forked all the time.
fishes.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, if we extrapolate this further, and you're rebuilding, doing the fork seals on your bike, and you don't have any fork oil, if you go to the fishmonger and just get a couple of kippers or something and stick them in there,
They'll eventually liquefy. and
no,
fork
just
oil.
get a couple of anchovies.
That's why you had all those anchovy cans at the shop when
Yeah,
I was down there.
exactly. You stick your anchovies in the fork.
Down your fork.
As good as new, probably better.
I thought you really just liked anchovies, but now I know.
Oh, that's disgusting.
You don't eat the oil, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can have lunch and fill your forks.
There you go. You see? And we'll call that a Misfits top tip.
Top tip.
All right. There you go. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And if you know of any other kitchen items that are commonly used in the garage or on motorcycles, let us know and we'll share that tip. Let's get back. We got a couple more emails. John, you got a nice short one there.
All right. This is from Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
I would like to share this with you guys. I watched a movie the other day, not the best movie, and probably considered it a teen flick, but it reminded me of the Numbnuts Titanium Taint Challenge. I like Titanium Taint. It is called The Standoff and is essentially 10 teens standing around a car with one hand on the car. The longest one gets the car. The main reason I learned to is don't take food that you don't know of the origin of.
Well, shoot, that just foiled one of my plots.
I wish I could teleport to the West Coast with my bike and participate in your challenge. It sounds like a great event, but I've been contemplating doing a similar event here in my area, Johnson City, Tennessee, if I can figure out a way to do it. So keep them right side up on one wheel. Cheers.
All right, thanks.
That was great.
I know. And do host your own. I think it'd be fun for everyone to host their own. Emma, you have a short email with a great picture of a bike. And I'm putting my seal of approval on this.
Oh, no, I am as well. I think we need to make sure this picture is available on our website or something. And so this is from JR, who is terrapin@gmail.com. And it's very... Not just a stretch booster, but a bagger too. This is the most amazing thing. And I tell you what, JR, I don't think this is a booster. I think this is a Gixxer.
Oh.
I think this is a Gixxer 1100, but it's a bagger. It is the most amazing thing.
It's well done.
It's extremely well done. It has a wild lime green and black paint job. And these God almighty.
Showed you on the picture.
It is
so you
the
can see.
product of an extremely sick mind.
Showed you on the
And I
picture.
love it complete.
It's a good looking bagger from a sport bike.
That is cool.
And
It
it's
is different.
It is probably...
It looks like a low bagger with low tight bags welded onto the front end of a motorcycle from like the tank up. It's a sport bike.
Man,
Right.
I know a
From the
bunch of
rear back-
hood rats
But
that
it
would love
looks
this.
good.
No, it really does. And the paint job really does it proud. JR, thank you,
This would be a
darling.
great Oakland ride right
I
here.
like the lines on it. It looks,
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah,
really
good job.
Well, maybe, this should be something that we build.
No, but we can appreciate it.
I tell you
and
what.
not mock it, because they show that you can do something on the side of ridiculous. Because I think stretch Gixxers or Boosas are kind of ridiculous, but they just
I
took
don't.
one that looks beautiful.
I think it's the perfect evolution of motorcycling. And I'll tell you something else. If you wanted to do an iron butt on that bike, you could do it quite quickly.
Yes.
You could
Hey, that-
average 160.
That's a bike for the taint challenge.
Bagel, you have an email there to read?
I do. Give me 1 second here.
And I believe you're going to have to do the accent on this one.
Accent? What accent?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
see
There's
any
an
accent.
accent. There's an accent.
I don't see anything in here that indicates an accent.
Oh, yeah, there is.
But, this is an email from Jordan Hrinchik.
Hey, Jordan.
And
Hi, Jordan.
Jordan says, "Hello, Misfits. Fucking love you guys. Name's Jordan, 24 years old. Have a GS 500F and KZ 650 from 77.
Nice.
The fucking KZ 650 we had just found out has the wrong petcock. It shouldn't be a vacuum petcock, but this person before us definitely put the wrong one on, and now we are running into leaking issues, etc.
Oh, dear.
Doesn't help that my dad put the petcock on prime thinking it was off.
Oh, God.
We can't find parts for this fucking thing anywhere. About to part this POS out. Where can I find vintage / old motorcycle parts?
Show me
Any
that.
ideas?
Show me that picture. I'll tell you exactly where you'll get parts for that. That, if I'm not mistaken, can I see that again? Mm-hmm. Could you pass that to me? I
Yeah.
need to identify this bike. So,
It's a KZ 650.
yeah, let's have a look. It's a very nice looking bike, and that is quite an early one as well. No, that's too nice to part out.
Yeah. If it's just a fuel tap, you can find a fuel tap.
Oh, yes. You can get parts for that and pretty much any vintage Japanese bike from a Dutch company called CSMNL.
Yes.
CSMNL, so that's Charlie, Sugar, Mike, November, Lima. They're based in Holland. They ship all over the world. And they've set it up really, really easily. So if you go to their website, just click on Kawasaki parts, and then there's like drop-down menu of every model that Kawasaki's ever done, going back to the 1950s. And of course, you go to KZ 650, and you can get everything. It's not the cheapest, but they're genuine parts. The shipping usually takes about a week. I buy quite a bit of stuff for CSMNL, but then I do a lot of work on vintage bikes.
Say that again.
CSMNL.
Okay.
There you go.
I love their albums.
Very good.
Yes, they're great. And so that's where you'll get everything you need for it. And don't part it out. It's far too nice for that.
But my favorite are the ones with Neil Young. It was much fun.
Neil
no,
was the
yeah,
best, yeah.
exactly.
But Bagel, that's not the end of the email.
Oh.
Well, it's
Because
not.
if you scroll down a little bit, there's another little added bonus.
Looking, confidentiality notice. This email and any files transmitted with it are blah, blah, blah.
Above the photos.
Above the photos. I see a subject. It says KZ650. I'm on my phone. I don't know if I'm
I'm
missing
on my
something
phone
here.
too. So what
The 12 Seasons of Buffalo?
Yes, that was the accent you were supposed to be doing. Buffalo.
He's in Buffalo.
So he's given us a thing, the 12 Seasons of Buffalo. You want to read it? I think this is fun.
All right. So the 12 Seasons of Buffalo: winter, full spring, second winter, spring of deception, third winter, the pollinating, actual spring, summer, hell's front porch, false fall, second summer, and then actual fall. How about that?
That's pretty funny. They go from third winter to the pollinating.
Yes. I like that.
I like that too. And Emma, we can do one more if you have a quick one.
Yeah, and I do. This is from John Burkhard.
Hey, John.
Hey, John, great name.
Hello, Misfits. Oh, it's entitled Four Valves. Love listening to the show as you make my commute a pleasure. Tra-la-la. Question for Emma. I have the first year 1972 Honda XL 250 Motorsport Thumper that needed the valves adjusted. When I pulled the valves covers off to try and adjust them, I noticed that it had what looks like two valves on the intake and two valves on the exhaust. Having heard your mini history hold on the Yamaha 73 XS TX500, being the first production bike with four valves per cylinder, and again mention of this in show 244. I know that Emma's always right. Good lad. So I got to thinking, have I either got a second cylinder hidden under the tank somewhere, or this could be one of those priceless rare Honda racing only bikes? Did I mention the bike's 72 model year with a build date of March 72? What do you think? Stay lubed, John. And John is absolutely right. And I kind of got to thinking about this because I've got no excuse for forgetting about the XL because I've built a couple quite recently. And I thought, where did I read about the TX? So I found the source and I went back. And we're kind of both half right because, of course, the first multi-valve machine was the Rudge in the 1930s. It was resurrected as a single cylinder by Honda, and they beat Yamaha by about 6 months because the TXs came out basically in late 72 for the 73 model year. But the TX and what became the XS500 were the first multi-cylinder multi-valve bikes. So that was its distinction. And I know I'd read somewhere that it was the first multi-valve, but it was the first multi-cylinder multi-valve.
So is this a long way of you saying you were wrong?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
No, absolutely. And I mean, it's never a case of, I just plucked this information out of nowhere. It was, I'd read it a long, long time ago. And I'd obviously forgotten, number one, about the XL.
Was this in a galaxy far, far away?
I think it was.
Yeah, okay.
But I stand by, the TX500 was the first multi-cylinder, multi-valve, in effect, a twin. Whereas the XL beat it by a very, very short amount. And around this time, there was so much going on. What do you think's the first superbike?
CB.
No. Well, I mean, they called it that.
CB
But you're
1000?
talking about the modern. We're either
Vincent Black
talking
Shadow.
about the GPZ or the Honda.
No, you way too far. Triumph Trident.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Triumph Trident was considered the first superbike because it actually beat the CB by 6 months. But of course, everyone's forgotten about it. A lot of people will argue that the first real superbike was the BMW R90S.
No.
Which we wouldn't the Vincent be considered a first superbike?
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, what
or
qualifies
Ariel.
it?
What about an Ariel Square
What qualifies it? Well, you know what?
Well, an Ariel Square 4, as nice a bike
Tell
it
you
is,
what,
it ain't no Vincent.
Emma?
It's a sidecar tug.
How about we save this for next week? And how about we come up with a list of the top 10 superbikes of all time? This will be something that'll piss the Cleveland Moto guys off because we'll make up the rules of what qualifies as a superbike.
Because
think?
the term superbike is such one for conjecture. But no, John,
Yeah.
I absolutely 100% apologize to you. And I think the Honda absolutely beat the TX by not as long as people think. It was only about 6 months. But the Honda was the first single, and then the Yamaha was the first multi.
Well, there you go.
And of course, it's something we take so commonplace now.
Yeah, I know. What's the most amount of valves? Like, 30, has there been a 32 valve?
Well,
What
I mean,
was it,
Yamaha famously did a lot of 5-valve engines.
So OW, right?
Yeah, and going way back to the FCRs of the 1980s. But they were flirting with 7-valve engines for a while.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. But they
Just
found
like a
it,
ring around the top of the cylinder
yeah,
head.
it kind of seemed like that. But it was deemed inefficient.
Yeah.
5, I mean,
Would you have a
a lot
triple
of moving
overhead cam for
parts.
that, or how would you?
no, it's all the way you angle the valves.
Okay.
But
Man.
yeah, I mean, if you think about it, 6-cylinder bike,
Yeah.
4 valves per cylinder,
Mm-hmm.
24 valves. That's about as many as you're going to get, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's a lot of valves.
It is a lot of valves. The KZ13 was a 4. The CBX was a 4. The Benelli, of course, was a 2. But the Benelli predated the other two by a long chalk. The Benelli came out in 73, and it was 79 for the Honda and 79 for the KZ.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for today. What do you guys think of Chris Hopper? What a cool
That's
guy,
great.
right?
Neat guy.
Yeah, and I
That's
mean,
great.
I mean, real biker shit.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah,
saying,
without
real
doubt.
Total props to
biker
him.
That's
Shit.
beyond biker shit.
beyond. And yeah, again, the fact that he's part of this big community, which I know it existed,
right.
but since I just learned about him and I started researching deeper and finding out about these extreme long distance riders, that there's a lot of them, not just a few remarkable people. There's a
Right.
bunch of them. This
It's-
is a whole nother culture.
It's
Yeah, I mean, this is a
community.
community that I've only dipped my toe
Yeah.
into.
Yeah, really cool
As
stuff.
hard as long as those 2,000 miles were, I mean, that's like nothing compared to what he did.
right.
Yeah, and I do hope that Harley puts that bike in the museum.
No, I think it deservedly so.
Be cool.
You get extra badass points though for the
But-
scooter by far.
Well, yeah, I would like to see Chris do it on the scooter.
But all along from when Liza actually told me, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Right up
Yeah.
until the interview, I was thinking there is a piece of this puzzle that is missing. And there's something that makes sense to this that I haven't got the information yet. Because I was just adding up the numbers and it was like, dear God, this is amazing.
It's
And then
mind-boggling.
And then we got it. Anybody who can exist on 4 to 5 hours sleep a night, that's the missing piece of the puzzle. Because
Yeah.
your day immediately becomes longer. To me, I mean, I'm pretty useless unless I get 8 hours sleep a night.
Yep.
I got news for you.
What? Are you one of those?
It's not the amount of sleep. You're
Hey,
still useless. No, I'm kidding.
I'll tell you what.
That was mean.
I'll throw
I
it
know.
out. I'll throw it out there. If Vespa wants to sponsor me to ride 100,000 miles in 100 days, I'll do it.
There you go.
What?
I'll
Come
throw
on,
it out the
Vespa.
gauntlet.
Step it up,
Do
Vespa.
it,
Let's
Vespa.
go.
Emma, make a
Step
call.
up.
Wow.
Make it happen.
I'll call him tomorrow.
You
I will
serious,
need
Bagel?
support.
All right.
If I have support.
Oh,
to
look,
do
he's
it,
gone
I'll do it.
already.
He's already
No,
there.
you can't.
We just called you on it.
I need that. I'm going to need support to do it, but I will do it.
Nice. Well, he's a cool guy, and a big thanks again,
Yeah,
Chris, for
no,
joining
what-
us.
It was very cool.
Monumental achievement. Well done.
Exactly. And everyone, take it safe. It's the Thanksgiving holidays, a time to
Yes.
to be for thanking, and my thanks is to all the misfits for joining me. We had a moment today out in the shop where Mike and Charlie were there, and Knock and Mike, and
It's just like the old days,
and it's just
wasn't it?
the group hanging out, all talking and
It was
eating
fun.
and having fun. And I was just like, this is awesome. I love this, you know?
Aw.
And it came up, I wish Bagel was here.
I
I think,
missed
John,
you
you said that,
guys.
didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss you guys.
It was pretty
I
fun.
hope
but,
to come back at some
but
point
you
soon.
know what? It made it even more fun. Bagel, you missed this.
Yeah.
We had a couple new people come to the garage today, and one of them showed up, and his name was Bilal. and he's on his first bike. Was it Ninja 300?
Ninja 300.
300. And I was just, we
Nice.
were asking like, Bilal, that's an interesting name. You know, where are you from? And I find him like, what's your ethnicity? And he goes, my family's from Pakistan. I'm like, what?
Excellent.
What part? What? And he's like, it's,
totally blew his mind.
it's next to India. I'm like, no, what part of it?
Which part?
And he was blown
He was.
away that,
Did you show him the movies?
yeah, he was blown away that we all know Pakistan, that everyone there, even though they haven't been there, they think highly of it as well through us, which is what Moyne's mission is, to change the world's perception,
Yeah.
at least in our community. Except
Right.
I don't know if we've changed Emma's mind yet, maybe.
Oh God, no! It's I
Yeah.
think it's as wonderful as
She
everybody
prefers
else.
the curry from India, though. We'll work
Oh,
on
yeah.
Pakistan. But he was blown away to find this community of people. And he grew up there, but he hasn't been back there for years. And we're trying to get him to go
Yeah, it'd
on
be great to have him
Stumpy
along.
John's trip.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That'd be awesome.
I'm like, dude, you'll want to go see the country with this group. It'll be a lot of fun because, like many Pakistani people, he hasn't traveled throughout most of these regions.
Right?
Even though he's from Islamabad, he's never even been up to Hunza.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. A lot of people from Pakistan haven't been up to these parts
He's
of the
made it
country
to
before.
Naran. I'm like,
Oh, wow. Well,
yeah. So
It's good.
it was a great
More
day in the
gum.
garage, and so that's what I am thankful for. You got anything to be
Nice.
thankful for, Emma?
I'm thankful to have so many great friends in my life.
How about you, John?
Well, certainly family, but yeah, this year hanging out with the Misfits has been wonderful. So I'm thankful for you all.
You're with the cool kids now.
Yep.
And Bagel, how about you?
Well, I am still thankful that I can do this podcast with you guys remotely, even though I've moved, 600 miles away. And I'm thankful that we can share our joy with the rest of the world through this medium.
Well, and you know what else I'm thankful of? All of our listeners.
Yep.
For
Yes.
hanging with us, sending in the emails. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. It's
Thank you, Patreon.
recyclemotorcyclegarage@gmail.com. And especially thank you to our Patreon subscribers
Yes.
who are paying for our hotel in Las Vegas in January,
Right.
where I think Phil's going to be there. So I'm so looking forward to hanging
I
out with
am-
Phil from
I
Cleveland
am
Moto.
very much looking forward to boiling myself in a hot tub alongside Phil.
Yes.
There you go.
So on that note, thank you everybody. Stay safe. Happy holidays. This is Liza, and we're ready to get out of here.
Stumpy John.
Emma, darling.
Bagel.
And we're out of here.
Cool.
Cool.